YAAYYOU is all about self-care. It all starts inside with the words you say to yourself. You're so amazing. You're so on point. And I feel like you're someone that people need to hear more about because the earth wouldn't be what it is without you. And I just wanted to say thank you to you for everything you're doing in so many different spaces. I want to toast to you, Nina Crease, as a DJ, as a producer, as an engineer, as a dot connector, as a person that's actually bridging worlds for people that, may not know how to do those things by themselves. And you're just beginning. I see your drive, and your drive is taking you to all these amazing spaces because your spirit matches with that drive. And I just really wanted to toast to you and say thank you for being you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be recognized.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta refill my cup for us toast.
Yes, what you drinking on?
I don't drink. I don't do
Okay.
alcohol.
You
Makes
don't have
me.
to drink because listen, I got Martinelli's. Okay. If you trying to celebrate, you might as well celebrate with Martinelli.
Oh, I see you. Oh, I gotta get on your level. Okay, I see you.
I got both sizes because I love a little sparkle, a little sparkling juice.
Ooh. Well, yeah, I'm just sipping some orange juice. It's early for me, so it's
I know
very.
that's right. Yeah, you know what's so cool about it with the YAAYYOU cups, the YAAYYOU.com cup bundles, the cups. Oh, do you love it?
It's oh my gosh, these cups. Let me tell you. First off, I feel the energy off the cup. All right, and let me just say, one of my favorite things on the cup was my baby girl cupcake. The cupcake on it. The cupcake is smiling. All right, for those of you who don't know, all right, that's what I'm talking about.
When we designed it, I saw how I felt in that imagery. Like life should be sweet for us, and we have so many layers to us. We have a lot going on, but the overall result is that we're sweet to people, so life should be sweet to us. And I feel like what I project, I manifest, and it's all coming from our feelings. So when I find more people like myself, I'm like, oh yeah, they can get this, they can interpret it how they feel, but it's always going to feel good. We're just those people that no matter what the situation is, we're going to figure out the optimistic way to see it and say, oh, okay, I can go on through this. It's going to work out because what? Things always work out for me.
That's yes, and it's like not thinking of ways of why I can't, but how can I? You know, that's the thing. I always dwell on that.
That's
So I
exactly what it is. Yes. You're so awesome, Nina. So listen, I would like for you to tell us a little bit about Music Works and, how you have it going in the metaverse. Let's talk about that a little bit. I know you provide mastering services and you're such a creative. And like I said, you bring worlds together. Tell us a little bit about Music Works.
So Music Works was a luxury recording facility. I was there for about 10 years as chief engineer, and we had Phil Collins in there for 2 years. We worked with eh, we worked with top industry artists and people just coming out of their bedrooms. So I've worked with a vast amount of people. So I think that's what allows, like, I know how to work with people, and they're all creatives, so you never know who's going to walk through those doors.
Mm-hmm.
So work is never boring, let me just say that. But Music Works, long story short, we went from just recording to also building the creative community, because I noticed a lot of people they were just creating, and I mean, even years with me, and they wasn't putting anything out, but yet they still wanted to share. I noticed they would like, yeah, let the track play. If somebody walked by, turn it up, let them hear that. And I'm like, you know what? People just want to be heard. I really, even though they don't want to, because these are artists, they're still developing, they're still growing. So that's when we began throwing events for the artists, and we opened up Music Works Productions so we could start doing artist development, and doing more events catered towards the artists, and more studio sessions catered towards their progression and advancement. And yeah, and then we were building that up. We started doing events, hence the Songwriter Shuffle. what you be doing
I
now.
love that. Oh my God, your songwriter shuffle is so amazing. Everyone gets so involved and looks forward to it. It's like, oh, you going to the songwriter shuffle.
Yeah, yeah, and that's cool too because it's like it's it's something you don't do often. You know, everybody's so in their own space when they create, and it kind of opens your mind and makes you have to work with other people and take other people's opinions and ideas into account. And it's hard when you're always thinking about me, me, me. Now you got to think about we.
Right.
So
Community.
yes, and I love it because I'm advanced enough to be able to see what they want to do. And like I see the outside scope of what they want. And as they do it, I'm able to piece it to I have the knowledge of over 16 years of engineering. And as an artist myself, I'm able to put my own input into the music and glue and put it together so nicely. So I'm able to put an artist like, hey, go and sing backgrounds behind his rap. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
You know
Right.
how you do the eyes. Plus, I work with them all individually, so I know that their individual talents. I know how I can direct them. You
Right.
know,
I love that. Oh my God. You're really good at producing from different levels. Like you can produce the event, you can produce the song, you can produce the community space of how everyone comes together. And like you just said, you can look at someone and say, you know what? He's good at da 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 da. He needs to go over there and do that with her and things
mm-hmm.
like that. Like that's magical. That you're driving things to a place where they wouldn't go without you. So
Thank you.
I
Well,
need
that's where it started. It started at Music Works, and with Music Works Productions, we launched the. Chris always had his roots, hence in literary music, folklore.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, so
Wow, that is so
he had
dope.
project that he was working on, and his friends brought it to us, and we did our label duties and we took it over to the finish line, and they released that project in Cuba and it won the Cuba Disca Award, which is
Oh,
yeah,
we gotta toast to that. Are you
that's the
kidding?
highest music achievement you can win in Cuba, so it's equivalent to the Cuban Grammys, like to a Cuban Grammy.
Of
So
course,
when you hear
you're winning all over the
people say like
globe, boo. You winning all over the globe.
that's what they're talking about. They're more so talking about my work that I've done with Music Works on the executive end, taking a project, bringing it over to the finishing line, and we over another country, and we won the highest award that you can win in that country. So that's motivation. Oh, that's motivation for us to move forward.
Right.
However, COVID came and we had to put a stop to everything,
Okay.
and we even had to close down Music Works. So we had to close down our physical space. However, that was a blessing in disguise because then I found the virtual space,
Yep.
and I was able to, and thankfully, a part of while we are here, I'm
Yep.
able to extend, and I'm able to basically uh, recreate what I do in real life and extend it into the metaverse.
Yeah.
And so what everybody is seeing, that's what everybody's feeling. They just feeling the transference. It didn't come from nowhere. It's already been happening. So I've been bringing that into the metaverse.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then that's a whole nother discussion because
Yeah.
I don't think people really understand the full value they get of us coming there, week after week.
Turning it
Yeah,
into something that was vital, turning it into something that emotions needed to happen in that space.
yeah,
People needed community. People needed to be able to be creative. Like we went to a lot of different house builds. Shout out to everyone that's building in there. And
yeah.
it's just so crazy that when you get in there, you still feel love because you can find your people. And so you're kind of like, oh, okay, this is what I get to do because of the times we were in and what we were going through. And even with us coming out of it slowly now, you still feel like, well, let me go see my people and see what's
Yeah.
going on, what they got, who's being creative. And, I like this. And we still have some time in there, things like that. And I just want to say, like, wow, like thoughts grow actions. So proud of you, and everyone's proud of us when they see us doing things in unique spaces because we all get to do stuff based on our faith and our thoughts and our actions and things of that nature. Now, I want to know what you were thinking when you recorded for the first time in the metaverse. Like, what were you thinking? What were you
Um,
thinking? Yo, I'm really in here, dude. Like, what were you thinking out of your words?
to be honest, I'm always in it,
Mm-hmm.
and I always so I'm never my my internal thoughts. And as a showman, as somebody in show business, you never tell anyone what's really going on, any of the problems,
The
any.
things you're fixing behind the curtain.
So it looks all wow and oh so amazing. There's so much tech things going on. I have a 3-computer system I'm running in order to do one thing. So it's like it was really I didn't really get to sit back and enjoy the like you are creating in the metaverse with somebody in another state at the like you're creating mute like so. But to me it was more so like I'm just checking off all the boxes. All right, you guys can hear the music clear. All right, cool. All right, give me another take, and I just went right into the process because this is what I do.
Right.
So it's like now times like this when I guess it's time for reflection, you know and that's why it's times like this, and I appreciate the invite and all the love that you've shown, because I'm always so in it. I don't have that perspective, because I don't have that luxury. I don't have that time. I
Yeah.
have to keep moving with the next goal that I have to achieve before that time,
Because you're forward. You're always driving towards your next thing, and you're figuring out how to get yourself in that space. You're always going forward. And what is so cool about it is that you have the knowledge in the spaces that you're in currently, but we're not afraid to grow. Like, we're not afraid to learn and say, oh, let me try that because this is what the next thing is. And while I'm doing that for other people, it can be a lot of different emotions, but you can't take them on because you're working the plan. Like, you're in the plan, working the plan. And people always call on you, Nina, to be a part of working the plan. So that's really dope. I got to toast to that because you're so dope. You're so dope.
Yeah. Toast.
It was so dope. You are so dope. Okay, so how about this? You are a music supervisor. You have been a part of putting songs that people have created from their heart in business spaces that affect emotion, like The Shy, shout out to them, which is so amazing. When you get to connect with other artists, do you figure out how they got where they are musically, or what you're going to do together, or is it an in the moment thing, or do you say, wow, this song is something else, I think someone needs to hear this? Like what do you do most of the time? Do you create with them, or do you find stuff and say, I like this, I think there's a space for this somewhere?
Well, it's funny because to every aspect of what you're saying is a different answer.
Yep.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So in terms of artist collaboration,
Yep.
I'm a firm believer of the magic happens in that moment. I captured the moment it happens. So I'm a huge believer of bringing the artist in and going to the booth, record what you guys do together and trying to knock it all out in one together to bounce the energies back and forth. Because there's something that happens when people are bouncing ideas off of each other, as opposed to, and when they're in the room, as opposed to, all right, let's meet up online. And all right, let's listen to and we do that too.
Yeah.
The shuffle meetings, one of the last shuffles we had met up online in my tribe room. So I was in my decks playing the music, and they were on the video call writing the song. So we have done writing sessions virtually, and the vibe is there, but the vibe is virtual. And so that's one. There is a difference in the connection between the artists. That's what I would say. I think it's a connection between the artists that makes a difference.
And that's what you're into, the connection. I
Yeah,
love
the
that.
connection aspect of it, because I think that's when the best products are created. So why time? That all of that can be done off camera, off on people's own free time. Nobody has free time, on people's own time, that they set aside for themselves. And when we get together, it's my job to maximize our output in that amount, in that duration. So I'm able to, yes, in a 3-hour span, collectively we'll put together a chorus, a verse, and boom. And if I have more time, we'll even get a nice solid idea down with a rough mix.
Okay, because they don't want it with you in your mixes. You don't
Yeah,
play.
and I mix as I record, and that's
I know.
another thing. So that's 16. That's 16 years of plugging knowledge. What goes what goes what. And now I love In Your Air Media Studios. I love it. I love it. I love the setup. The quality that I'm getting there is spot on.
Yes.
And so I'm able to just really quickly, people go in the booth, make my adjustments, boom, I got them set.
Yes.
And nice, because when I'm working with different artists have different voices.
Yep.
So cadences. So I have to put on different, different touches to different people, but I'm able to do it very quickly. Very
That's
quickly.
genius. It's a part of your gifts here. Like we're all giving our gifts. And I love that you said no one has free time. Like, let's expand on that. When you are here on this planet in this time, in this space, living your dream, completing your goals, loving your family, and loving yourself, it's like the time is already in place to be spent in proper ways. So if
Mm-hmm.
something comes up to make you feel like they should have it, you want to feel like it's worth it, because
Yeah.
that's what life should be. Life should be worth it,
Mm-hmm.
And what's your thoughts on free time?
Like I love how you summed it up. At least for us, I know that's how it is for me. My week is already planned out. So it's like, if I'm going to put something in, something's going to get taken out, and it's got to be worth my time if I'm going to be putting it into my schedule. And so that's when I'm at the time in my life where my values have changed. They've really shifted. I value my time with family more because I realize I have a lot less time with them. So that I value a lot more. I used to cancel those days, and now looking back, when I look at those family pictures, I'm not in them. Why? Because I was at a session. I can't even remember the session. And so those reasons, I stopped putting aside. I stopped putting work first, or the studio and music first, and started taking on family stuff. And that's why even now on Instagram, people see me out more at family events, and I didn't do those things before.
I
You
saw
know,
you too. Man, your family seems so cool. Y'all
yeah,
was vibing and having a good time. I was like, oh, okay. This is
they are. And they're all focused and in their own professions
yeah.
also. And that's why they all turn up. Like one of them's retired already. And that's the thing. We've all been focused in our own ventures. For a few of us, they kind of intermingling now with what I do with the music, and and where they are, design, the metaverse, the kind of things what I'm doing now. I kind of see where now our family things can kind of come together, and we're in a different thinking. As it's like, people used to say that was the brainwashing, don't work with your family. Why would I not work with my family if I'm focused on generational wealth? Why would I not work with my family? It just makes sense to, and to pick up, and not all your family, only those who are on the same mental
At the
plane as,
time. Yeah.
only
Like
those who
if
see
you
the
share the same goals, if you share
exact.
the same interests at the time, even though everyone has a different part in it, that's totally fine, because we all have too much family. But the family that you like, yo, me and so we're gonna da 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 da, and that makes
Exactly.
it. Yeah, I love that. I love that so much. In the metaverse as well as out here, there'll be a YAAYYOU room and a bunch of other
Ooh.
things pertaining to manifesting and positive energy, self-care, and things like that. And it's so cool that in order to get to where you're trying to go, you just have to be yourself. There's no fluff, there's no interruption, there's nothing unreal about you being yourself. It's like you have to be yourself. What I think the distractions are a part of you being someone else for other people. So when you're being your fullest self, you get to be a good you for the people that love
Ooh.
you. You get to be a good you for the people that love you. But there's someone that might look at you being too much of you, and they're like, well, I need them to do something else because they're too happy. They're getting it too good for them. I need some of that over here. And it's like this, like a give and take which we don't mind, but it has to be a genuine give and take. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
with YAAYYOU.com and my YAAYYOU Notes to Self, it all starts inside with the words you say to yourself. You know what I mean? So if you're a rock star for you, your friends and your family are going to be rock stars. The rock stars will attract each other. The genius will attract each other. The moods will attract each other. Everything is possible when we think about how it's okay for someone else to have possibilities, because we're not here alone. It has to be okay for someone else to have possibilities. So there's no intrusion of, oh, well, I need you to stop loving on you and completing what you're doing, Nina, or I need you to stop doing what you're doing and advancing and being so major. Can you imagine if someone would have told you the day you were going in the metaverse, like, why are you going in there? What is that? And you're like, I don't know. I need to find this out. And they work so hard to convince
They
you to not
do.
go. They did.
They did. That's and that's why the music and gaming castle came about, because I was like, it's a different, the metaverse. Look at it. It's 3D. It looks like a game to some people, you know. And I'm a gamer, so to me, it wasn't scary. It wasn't so outside of. I was just like, oh shoot, now I can add gaming to my music stuff. You know what I mean? So it wasn't even that. But then I realized when I was telling my a few of my music friends about it, they were like, "Oh, you playing games now?" And it's like, "Oh, I see what this is. You don't understand what I just said to you. That's what this is. This is just what I just told you I was doing. Just went way over your mind, you know." And so, and then even to a few of my close friends, you know, like my best friend, he's awesome designer. You know? But he's not in the metaverse because I don't think he understands.
Okay.
Well, you know what? He doesn't have the time to understand it, to take
Free
the time.
There we
He's
go. He
jobs.
doesn't have the free time. He is building, and shout out to him. Shout out to him, because the way the world is working in your favor is when you know you have this direction you're going in. And it's totally fine, because you can meet up again, because you just called him your best friend. And I love that. I love that. It's like you know who he is and he knows who you are. And those are the people that applaud you the most when you rocking in your spaces. They're like, okay, I see you doing it.
He got metaverse. Well, he got me streaming. I'll say he got me into streaming.
Yes. Oh gosh. Oh wow. Oh wow. Oh, wow. Well, okay. We're to the part with YAAYYOU.com Notes to Self. My affirmation album. People listen to it in the morning. The reason I have these cups is because when I was a little girl on my grandparents' farm, my grandmother and I would sit on the porch and we would drink water in the morning and think about how we wanted our day to go. And throughout my life, there was always some place for me to sit before I did any type of work, before I produced any records, before I did anything business or clerical, or before I even go to the gym. I would just sit still and sip and think about how I want my day to go. So I was so grateful that I could extend that to all the new yaysayers and people that believe it's okay to believe, like us. And I would like to give you a YAAYYOU vision word, because oh wow, let's see. I like driven. When I see you, I see driven. I see it. I see driven. And I'm going to break down driven, give you some acronyms for driven. Dedicated, rising, inspired, visionary. Because, baby, you are a visionary.
Oh my gosh, I'm toasted.
The E is for essential, and the N will be for next. That's you, mama. That's you.
I love it. I love it.
That's you. Driven, rising, inspired, visionary, essential, and next. That's you. That's your word.
Next move's better than my last move. Hey, what they know about that? What they know about that?
Out now by Marcella Precise. Y'all better get into it, because that's what we do here. That's what we do here. Toast to me. I didn't know that was happening. Ooh.
You want okay? With the pinky up.
Okay, all the way.
With the pinky up.
Thank you, Nina Crease.
I just want to say thank you for what you are doing in terms of creating the affirmations, because the self-talk, I don't think people understand how important it is. And those affirmations, I had to find my own out there. You know, I didn't even know how important it was, and how important it is. It really is, especially with all that's going on, with all these social media, with so much that's coming at you randomly. There's some things that you need to intentionally uh, inject into yourself and into your mind and into your heart. And affirmations, sometimes that's it. That's the answer. You know, those are those little. I believe in the subconscious and how it works. And thank you so much for putting that out into the world, because they need it. I myself, I do meditation streams on Wednesdays. It's Wednesday Wellness at the Castles. So yeah, so I
Shout it
uh,
out, Mama.
just
Yes.
so the Music and Gaming Castle. That's right. That's where the music and the gamers create. All the creators. That's where we all unite, and we get together. We play games. We learn together, and we earn together. So that's the whole thing with the Music and Gaming Castle. So everybody who's in the castle is royalty, and it's a give back system. So everyone who's in, they're all a part of our creative system. And right now we're focused on the path to monetization. So, because that's the castle's whole thing. I want to give back, as you know, we was talking about music works and all these events, and I noticed the artist is always coming out of their pockets and always coming, and I'm like, why isn't it the opposite?
Right.
You know, artists, this is a gift that I've been given, and I have to pay for someone to hear that gift. I have to pay for someone to, for me to deliver this to someone. So I've always felt like something's uneven here. We have gifts that other people need, but yet we're paying for it. Why? So I created the Music and Gaming Castle, and in due time, the it'll grow. A part of that is the music placements. So like you were talking about, I have placed my own music. So I've placed my own music as set of example. So I have my own personal music in the Shy, which I've worked with producers that I've found at these events that we're working on. So it is a give back system. So
It's a cycle, and it's a community. The fact
yes.
that it's a community shows you that everyone is welcome. Just bring your gifts. Everyone is welcome. So, thank you
They
so much, Nina. Oh my God, you're so
have
amazing.
positivity too. That's right.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everything that makes you a yay sayer is what's making you so excellent, and that's why your word is driven. Cause woo, girl, you are doing it. You are doing, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you for agreeing to all of this. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yes.
And
And
shout let me get that cup in there when I say shout out to YAAYYOU. This is Nina Crease, and I'm here having a YAAYYOU toast with Marcella Precise. I toasted that one.
you did.
I toasted that.
You was like, whoop, whoop.
That was it. I'll toast to that. Oh, that's a Nina Crease drop right there. This is Nina Crease. Whoop, whoop. And I'm here having a YAAYYOU toast with my girl, Marcella Precise. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, I guess and the one thing I do want to shout out before I leave,
Okay.
huge shout out to 3VM, the Harlem Film House. They've really the Mall of the Metaverse. They really also helped the castle establish themselves in the metaverse also. And Shy Boogie, Facetious, Queen Hazel, they've really helped me they've been a central part of me throwing the events in the metaverse aspect. You know, so big shout out to them. It's a team effort. You can't really, nobody does this by themselves. And I always try to shout out. We always try to shout out the people who help make this a success.